What are you looking up?
Just waterfront inventory.
I guess anytime.
Anytime.
So let me know when.
Good.
Songs always take forever, right? When we get one.
Repeat the refrain 47 times. Fade out for 4 minutes.
Oh. I thought it was over.
No, you gotta really drive it home for the crowd now.
Always record.
Always record.
Always record.
It's fun. It's like those tree bears we ran into down at Baylor yesterday. They had a oak tree, and right underneath it said, every good tree bears good fruit. And so I looked over there, every good tree bears good fruit.
Next generation of home improvement with everything you need to do projects smarter. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing.
Some say tomato, some say tomato.
Hey there, East Texas. I'm John, and I am here with the gentleman from Caldwell Baker, Britt and Shai, right?
That's correct.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Morning.
So you guys want to talk about what you got going on?
Yes, sir. Today we're going to talk about, as always, trying to get your home on the market and why right now is a good time. One of the reasons today is we are at a historically low inventory out there. In fact, it's showing right now that the inventory has been falling for 9 straight quarters now, which makes really this time a great time to get your home on the market because your competition is really low.
Yeah.
And coupled with that is this entire year, our interest rates have been holding around 4%, pretty steady all year, which is really good for the buyer coming in, which makes them want to get off the fence and get out there to purchase a home. So getting your home out there right now would be a good time to do that.
All right, right.
Yeah, part of that low inventory around here, we're a lake-based economy and community. So these waterfront houses are kind of the center of the spotlight on a lot of the market. We have our farm and ranch, we have our commercial, we have our off-water residential primary housing, and then we also have our waterfront houses, which part of those are primary residence, part of those are secondary housing. And I guess it was about 18 months ago, we were looking at the inventory, and there was between about 500 and 600 houses to choose from if you wanted a waterfront house. Yeah, quite a few, quite a few out there. So you had your pick of the litter with that in just about any subdivision on the lake, any price range that you wanted, from just, give me something that can kind of have some shoreline there to have access to the water, or just something where I can put a boat dock pump and I can irrigate my garden out of, all the way up to multi-million-dollar inventory. As of today, there are exactly 200 active to choose from waterfront homes in our local Board of Realtors MLS. That's 200. That's about a third.
Yeah.
Third of what it was 18 months ago.
Having almost 400 lake additions, that means they're spread kind of thin out there.
They're spread thin. Brett and I ride around every week around this shoreline. Usually one thing we try to do is we start at one corner of the lake and we drive this loop. Yeah. And there's various parts of our jobs that we do within that. But one thing we try to do is get inside and see every house that's on the market. Part of that is just we enjoy seeing houses. We really do like this industry. We love seeing your house out there, seeing what it has to offer. But that also makes it to where whenever we have a buyer and we take them out to your house, we're not just going blind off of only what's written on a piece of paper and a few photos. That's a lot of great information. The pictures most of the time are excellent photos that we have. Our realtors in our area are great professionals. But there's no substitute for actually going inside your house, spending some time, seeing how the layout is in there. So we actively try to get into every house that we can. And one of the things we're seeing with only 200 available houses on the market right now on the waterfront, that means we're driving, and there's some whole subdivisions that don't have a single house to offer on this lake. Not a single house to offer in that entire subdivision. Whereas 18 months, two years ago, we would drive just about any subdivision had at least one or two houses to offer in there. Some of them had quite a few houses to offer in there. But since then, various factors, just people have been buying. That's the biggest factor is people have been buying these houses. Coupled with there were some of them that have been taken off the market in that time because they were on the market throughout the recession. Homeowners either needed to sell or they wanted to sell. They had different things in life. Either they'd had their time at the lake, but the recession happened just as they were finishing up. Kids were in high school, but now kids went off to the Four Corners, to college, university. Jobs aren't coming down as much. Time to move on to the next phase in their life, job opportunities, things like that. And so they needed to sell, but the recession really just took the wind out of the sails on that. Mm-hmm. And so after, 6 months, a year, 2 years of being in that market and it not selling, it's been pulled off the market. Well, now we've been having about 2 years of good selling time, and several of those houses have remained off the market. So now if somebody had one of those houses that you were really needing to get sold, or you bought it, say, before the recession, you've enjoyed it throughout it, but now it's time for the next phase of your life. With our low inventory of about 200 houses, well, it's actually 200 active houses in our MLS today, I would say today is a prime time to look at getting that house on the market. Give us a call, get us over there, let us show you what we can do for you. Because with the lending that's available, people can buy the houses. There's the desire for the houses. The economy's up. This lake is every day becoming more and more desirable. There's a lot of people in Dallas that are looking at the lake as being primary housing. I could live on the waterfront, commute to work, and come home to a lakefront house versus a small suburb house in Dallas.
Yeah, the houses just right next to each other.
Yeah, just right next to each other. Yeah, we have that some on the lake, but it's right next to each other, side to side. That backyard, one thing we try to tell people is one of the advantages to that lake house is when you buy that lake house and you have access to Cedar Creek Lake, that's your play area. Go out and fish, swim, ski, tube, jet ski, whatever. That's your backyard. You come home to that rather than just a little yard. And you don't really have to maintain that water too much. That's on Tarrant Regional. They take care of that part.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing you were talking about a while ago about seeing these houses was we drive around the lake, so we know when our buyers are looking, we know what's currently out there on the market. So we can best fit them in the home they're looking for. And I'd also like to say on that is usually when we're going around, we can get a feel of, for the sellers, what houses are their competition on the market these days? What are the values selling in their neighborhoods? Trying to more properly align them, getting ready for pricing the home for sale to meet a price that the appraisers will be in line with as well.
Yeah, that pricing is crucial. If you've been one of these people that's kept up with the pricing trends, 2006, it boomed and spiked on housing prices, and then it went down through the recession. Now we've had it come back up. Some of the reasons why certain houses aren't selling right now, you'll see certain houses and that sign's been in that yard and it's been in that yard, it's been in that yard. There's always some factors like maybe it's being improperly marketed, maybe the house has some issues, but there's also the possibility that it's overpriced because some houses are intentionally priced 50, 75% over market value just to see if can I get somebody that really wants this house and is willing to pay that?
Well, if they're a cash buyer, you can always buy with what money you have, and that's fine.
Yeah, if you're buying cash, if that's what you want, you're going to pay it, right?
But if you're not, if you're doing the lending, why would that be a bad idea?
That could be a very bad idea because if somebody's seeking out lending to purchase a house, which is primarily how people buy houses these days, Compared to purchasing with lending, cash is very, very rare still on, dropping down $200, $300, $500,000 or more. Cash in one purchase on a house is rare. So one of the things you want to do is price appropriately. That price has come back up. You've gained that value back after the recession. But when dealing with lending, you still have to deal with that buyer's appraiser. Even if that buyer wants to pay you 75% above list price, doesn't mean that they either can or are willing to or are able to. That appraiser is going to set a value. They're going to look at what is selling around you, what has sold, what's currently available. They're going to look at amenities on your property. They're going to try to find value in areas, but there are limitations on what they can find value in. And so pricing too far above market value, even 10% a lot of the times above a market value, can cause your property to sit on the market. It's crucial to price it appropriately, because that appraiser is going to come in there and they're going to set their value, and that lender is going to go off of what the appraiser says that it has as a value versus what you feel as the value of the house.
Yeah, and you're also going to cut your market down on your shoppers.
Yeah.
Being overpriced, they're going to naturally tend to shop around your competition. Always go to the lowest price property first.
Yeah. Every buyer is a hobbyist appraiser, whether you want to admit it or not. Every buyer has an appraiser hobby. That's what they have, and they're going to shop around, especially with the internet. They're going to see what houses are available around you. They're going to see what they're going for, and buyers aren't necessarily going for the best price. They're going for the best value. They're going to try to get the most amount of features and amenities that meet their needs, their wants, the desires that they have, coupled with that price point. So least price isn't necessarily the best value for a buyer. So undercutting your price is not a good thing. Overpricing your house is not a good thing. You want to be right there at that market value to where you can maximize the money that you return, but also maximize the buyers that come and shop your property. You want to make it the best value. And so one of the things is the appraiser is going to look for that value. We're going to look for that price. So try to find that balance between appraiser value and a price that a buyer is going to be willing to pay or able to pay.
Yeah, very true. I'll tell you right now a couple of things to think about that sellers might not be thinking about with the fall weather coming in. Most people around our area consider the summer market as being a hot market, don't realize how hot a market the fall can be, coming up right before the holidays as well. One thing to look at with getting your agent while you're looking for your local real estate agent, good one's down there at Coldwell Banker.
Oh, Coldwell Banker has excellent real estate agents. I personally recommend anybody at Coldwell Banker, American Dream Realty in Gun Barrel City.
But that's another thing that these agents can help you with is we're coming into that fall busy time of the year. You're getting together for your holidays. Maybe traveling out of town for the holidays to visit family, and finding a good agent that could help sell your property. Take these calls while you're out. You don't want to be out of state visiting grandma, having to answer a phone call about your home. Agents can help you, assist you in the selling of your home in that area as well.
Okay. Also, with the buyers coming in, the housing market changes for sellers, but it also changes for buyers. So how is it that the buyers change during the fall and winter that helps out sellers in getting their house sold?
Oh, well, one thing, you're probably going to be experiencing, as a seller, you'll be experiencing fewer buyers actually coming out to your house during this time. The lake area is generally a more busy area during the summer, and just with the influx of people that come down for the summer weather, the boating and everything, you're going to have more people in and out of your home, which may not necessarily be a good thing or lead to more of a sale of your home. It's just more tire kickers, we might say. We look at these days, most of our initial sales coming from the internet anyways. Most of our first-time shoppers, they're getting their first look on the internet at your home. And it's a confirmation when they come to your home. And so even though the traffic may be down on actual showings of your home this time of year, the people who are out there are more serious type buyers.
So if I'm wanting to sell my house during the winter, I shouldn't just think, less buyers, so less likely to get a contract. So let me just pull it off the market, keep those days on market down, and I'll just put it back on the spring. You're saying there is some strategy to actually being a winter seller.
Yes, we experience a lot of times, especially in our area, that historically around the end of the year is one of our better selling seasons. And the reason being is, for whatever reason, most people change jobs this time of year. Maybe their kids are looking to change schools this time of year. And so it is a big moving season, just like around Memorial Day is. This Thanksgiving time period is a big time where people are changing, moving areas and things like that.
You'd mentioned the holidays. You have the summer holidays where it seems like more buyers get out there looking at houses. And so you're likely to get the tour guides and the tire kickers and people coming through your house, and you may be thinking, I had 30 showings this month and not one offer. But now we got winter holidays, right? So can they have an opposite effect on your buyers, maybe taking some of those unserious buyers out of the market but leaving some of the serious ones in?
Yes, it will definitely. You'll probably, like we were talking about earlier, you'll notice there may be a few more footprints through your home, but that's not always a bad thing. It's less sweeping for you to keep it neat and tidy between showings as well.
Yeah, keeping that house maintained between showings is an important factor, especially if you've got, say, like a lake house where you may not be down every day of the week. You get a couple of showings, you don't exactly know what it's looking like after this showing or that showing. But also the winter seems to be a time where you can have your house on the market and things like the outside. You don't have to maintain it as much, correct?
Yeah, I mean, who likes to get out and have to mow their yard 2-3 times a week like I do with that Bermuda over maybe? That takes one of the stresses off. Your outdoor maintenance will be a lot lesser in the winter, allowing you to focus more maybe on the inside presentation, keeping your house clean during these showings.
Yeah. One of the things I've seen over the years with the fall and the winter selling also is, as buyers are going around touring, when the weather gets bad doesn't necessarily mean somebody's not shopping. Where it comes as an advantage for a seller, also for a buyer, is if it's cold outside, that's where I don't want to be. I don't want to be outside. I want to get inside your house where it's warm and cozy. So that can mean for a buyer, that puts their attention more on the inside of your home rather than the outside. A lot of the times during the summer, we're looking at, how am I going to use and play around my house during the summer? So buyers will focus a lot on walking around the outside of the house, seeing what things like your porch, your deck, your lake view, your boat dock have to offer. This winter seems like a time where you can really focus on the inside of the house, correct?
Yeah, and we noticed, because I feel the same way myself, whenever it gets them cold, blustery days, buyers tend to hang out in the warm of the house a little bit more. And we've noticed that the more time spent in the interior of the home, each additional minute, it's just making them fall in love with that home more and more. The more time that you can get a buyer to spend in your home, the more likely the sale is going to occur.
So one thing we could think about on a strategy is maybe where I might not have to mow my lawn near as much during the winter, I could put some of those nickels and dimes towards keeping the heat on in the house. You don't have to necessarily roast us out, but keeping a few degrees warmer, keep it cozy in there. Just like during the summer, we know you're trying to get it sold. Everybody has bills and budgets that we all have. Everybody is ultimately accountable to their budget. And so during the summer, you're not there, so let me push that air conditioner a little bit warmer. But if you're trying to sell it, you bring it down a little bit cooler so people want to stay inside the house. If you can get that extra 30 seconds, 60 seconds on a showing. Same with the winter. If you can bring that temperature up a degree or two, don't roast anybody out, but to where somebody just hopped out of a warm car, went into cold driveway, and is now sitting there shivering at the front of the door. Oh, let me in. Come on, realtor, quit fumbling with that lockbox. Get me in there. It's going to make, at least me, it makes me think, let me wait for another 30 seconds before I go back out there and fumble with car keys. And
like Grandma used to say, take off the coat and stay a while.
Yeah.
When you get them in there warmed up, they'll stay around a little longer.
Okay. Speaking of houses on the market, you have a few for us today, right?
Yes, sir. I want to start off, first of all, here. We've got a lovely property over at 148 First Mate in Harbor Point, subdivision over here in Gun Barrel City. It's a great little 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, approximately 1,552 square feet. It's got a 2-car garage, big fenced-in backyard, and it may not be the time of year where you're going to be in it as much, but it does have a lovely above-ground pool out back too, which is a nice little amenity. And this is also located in the Maybank ISD School District. It's a good one, just as we were talking about people moving around because of kids changing schools here and there. Maybank, very sought after school over here. Good little house to get you into. We've also got another one over at 2111 Lakeview Drive. If you're looking for a waterfront home, this home over in Carolyn Estates is a 2-bed, 2-bath, about 1,200 square feet. It's got 120 feet of waterfront. Nice little home. I was over there just a couple of weeks ago. Great gated community over there, nice and quiet.
Yeah, they just put that gate up just a few years ago, correct?
Yeah, just a couple of years ago, and that's getting to be more of a trend around our lake area, which I really like. It's making these subdivisions a little bit quieter and everything. And this one's going for $189,000, located in Malakoff ISD over here, another sought-after school district in our area, and I still think that they're rolling with their undefeated season.
Okay. Yeah, we also have a couple of properties. If you're wanting that new build, real quick, let me mention Beacon Hill. We have 2 lots there, 54 and 60. One of them is addressed 117 Waterbridge. It's $170,000. That's lot 60. It's 0.578 acres. And the other one is 121 Island View. It's for $150,000, 0.367 acres. Now, both of these are off water. They're at the north end of the lake, but they give you some of the most premier prime views of this lake. It just viewed down the long stretch of the lake to the south,
Yeah,
coupled
spectacular
with
view of Audubon Island there.
yeah. And if you want to work in Dallas and live and just commute in, you're only about 45 minutes to Dallas, so you can live right there, come home to that fantastic view at Beacon Hill, and just zip into work in the morning and come right back home to peaceful living right there at Beacon Hill.
Awesome. Is that all you guys have today?
That's what we have. So I'm Shai with Coldwell Banker American Dream Realty. You can get me at 903-340-6159.
And I'm Brett, Coldwell Banker. You can also reach me at 903-340-6301 or at lbrettkillian@gmail.com.
And if you're looking to buy or sell your house, just give one of us a call or call our main office at 903-887-7055. We got a bunch of great agents over there. Looking forward to helping you out this fall and winter.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming out. And, folks, you're listening to 95.9 KCKO. We'll be right back with the Trading Post. And, actually, Mackenzie will be doing the Trading Post. I may hop on every now and then. And we'll see you there.